Well, good morning, Abraham.
It is.
The question is, it has to do with the law of attraction. How do you know as soon as possible? How do you know sooner when that which you are attracting is not for your highest well-being, your highest good? Because I was basking in well-being and I was loving your book, Ask and It Is Given. And what I asked for is to call forth from the benevolence of the universe a perfect mate for me, one that I resonate with on every level. And then so this one came forth, and for about 2 weeks it was really wonderful, Abraham. And then I gave him one of your tapes, and he listened to the tape, and he is from a background that is fundamental. And in the teaching that I was studying, fundamental means there's no fun. You damn everything, and it's all mental, fundamental. And so he listened, and then from that moment forward, he began to find fault with many things about me and about my expression, about my clothes, and about everything. And so after about 2 months, Abraham, I decided that I wasn't feeling good in that place. But so my question is, how can I know sooner? I think that the test here is that when I gave him the tape and he did not resonate with me in that place, I mean, how could he not adore you? Then I should have said, I love your comment, fork off. But I didn't go there, so I just kept saying, well, I will just continue down this path and continue down this path, making the best of it. And it didn't feel good. When I would talk on the phone and I would hang up, it didn't feel like a place.
Here's what happens. As you are understanding that we're talking about the emotional journeys. And of course, your action follows your emotion. You can't just stand still in terms of action. In fact, we notice that your action follows your emotional trail usually pretty well. You seem to always go where you're looking. Jerry's noticed that with Esther driving the monster bus. He will say, look over there, only to discover that Esther begins to veer in that direction. So now he only says, look over there, because you tend to go wherever you are looking. So you meet someone and you're looking for their positive aspects. And as you look for their positive aspects, you find them. So you're looking for positive aspects and finding them, and looking for positive aspects and finding them, and looking for positive aspects and finding them. And so you are finding vibrational alignment with them and having a nice experience. But as with every relationship, the more you get to know people, the more you want to find out how much of you and the other person is compatible. And so if you could continue to look for the positive aspects, it is possible for you to keep branching off and branching off and branching off and branching off to find the best of this person until it is possible that you could find vibrational compatibility with this person. You could not meet any person on the planet who could not eventually find resonance with the idea that they are creators and that they've come forth to create, and that they are good and that they are worthy and that source is flowing to them, and that the negative emotion means they've pinched it off. In other words, everybody at the heart of who they are would come to that recognition. But the thing that we want to say to you is, do you believe that it is your job to focus upon someone down the trail and identify them as your final destination, and then focus yourself so diligently that this person that sort of came to you at the very early stage of your journey is the final person that comes? It would be like saying, I'm going on a journey to have a joyful experience, as compared to, I'm going specifically to Egypt to see the pyramid. When you say, I'm going specifically to Egypt to see the pyramid, you would affect a more specific course of action between here and there to get there. But when you say, I'm going to have a joyful journey, now your journey could take many twists and turns, and it would be a much fuller, brighter, all-inclusive journey than if you just made a beeline for this destination that you think you're going to. And what we notice with relationships in particular is that many of you just want to make a beeline line there. And so you'll find someone, and it's almost like this person has to be everything that I've decided that I want. And we say, why not just make the best of where they are? Because what happens is when you make the best of who someone is, and they do not have all of the probabilities of fulfilling all of the intentions that you've been launching into vibrational escrow, oh, you're going to like this so much. What happens is you make the best of it, and they give you the best of what they can give given who they are in relationship to all the things that you want. But because you've made the best of it, now the universe can say, now come this way. In other words, this person took you to here. Now, if you're in positive aspect mode, now your helpers along the way can say, and this one will even take you more. So you branch off. This person that you met goes merrily on their way. You go merrily on your way. And you meet another who gives you some of it, maybe all of it. But if not all of it, then the fairies of the universe that are along your positive trail say, now come this way. Well, now come this way. Well, now come this way. And by the time you've had some exposure to some experiences, you have had the opportunity to fill in the gaps in your vibration so that you are becoming incrementally a much better match to all of the things that you've been telling the universe that you want. Did you get that? Now let's go the other way. So here you are, you meet someone, they feel pretty good to you, so you go. Then you give them the tape, or something comes up, you find out they have no money, or you find out that they're married to somebody else, or whatever. So you're going merrily on your way. You find something out that is upsetting to you. Now you've got another fork in your trail. So now you can go the unhappy mode, you can go the revenge mode, you can go the you deceived me mode, you can go you lied to me mode, or you can go to, well, we've been having fun while we went, and you were there when I needed you, and I get what I'm a vibrational match to mode. Feel the difference? So let's say instead of going the good feeling mode, which remember the fairies are going to branch off into better feeling things, you go the injustice mode. So as you go the injustice mode, now what happens? Now what fairies are along the trail to help you? In other words, well, if you didn't like this guy, you really won't like this guy. And if you don't like this guy, you really won't like this guy. See how it works?
Yes, that's very helpful. Thank you.
Yes, indeed.